Hi, and welcome to another episode of Our Tiny Cabin Project. This is Charles, and
this is John and Princess coming to you with another episode of Our Tiny Cabin Project. So in this episode, we're going to be showcasing just a few little things that we did on this trip. One of the things that we did, for instance, was clear up the solar panel wiring so that it doesn't look so messy on a tiny cabin. So Charles actually did this one just by using some cheap tacks and running it right along the cabin. This helps with weather so that the wind doesn't knock it around. Also helps us not trip over it walking to the cabin. So we're going to come down this way. We got it running under the cabin for now. It goes right on back up and right through the wall at that access point where these other solar panels come to. We're soon going to have a weather guard and plug unit on there. We just haven't received it from Amazon shipping yet. That brings us to another thing that we've recently done last trip, is we moved the doghouse over and down.
part of the reason why we moved the doghouse was strictly for, due to the fact we're going to be moving our battery bank to the doghouse eventually. Presently, we've just had a couple little Harbor Freight batteries sitting inside underneath the kitchen counter, looking all janky. And we're trying to get the house looking a little less Sanford and Son and a little more like a getaway retreat. Part of the other reason why we went ahead and decided to move the doghouse was, as you may have read on our blog or saw some of the t-shirts that we're selling, one of our t-shirts says tiny house, tiny dog, big fucking truck. The other reason why we moved the doghouse was so we would have better parking for the Dakota. Don't you just think I'm sexy?
Alright guys, we're going to be headed inside now to talk about a few things that we've done inside the house this weekend. First, I do want to point out something so exciting for me. We have radishes. We planted these little seedlings last time we were here and they're sprouting up. So vegetables can grow on mountains. Let's go inside. Ooh, good murder scene.
For now, as you can see, I just have the TV hooked up on this little inverter, which works for now until I can install the outlet underneath the TV for the power source. It will probably be wired all 12 volt. I have a 3,000 watt inverter that eventually I will tie all the outlets to, so that way we can not have to use multiple inverters. Some people like to use multiple inverters so they can unplug one here and there, but eventually, we're only going to have 2 or 3 outlets, and only one outlet will be designated for the generator to push the air conditioner. So everything else will be wired 12 volt and then hooked up to the inverter. So the outlets in the cabin will be 120, but it will be 120, 110, but it will be as a product of the inverter coming off the solar grid. Right now we're still banging off our Harbor Freight batteries, but hopefully soon we will have a better battery bank.
And as you guys may have seen on our blog, not sure if any of our new videos have showcased it, but we finally have our tiny house couch. Our tiny cabin in the woods is slowly becoming more and more like home. Luckily for now, I managed to score a seat on this couch. As you will probably see in an upcoming video, this is usually Princess's spot, and we're not allowed. Alright guys, another thing that we did this weekend was we built a observation deck in our 5-acre backyard. Come take a look. So this happened today. We had some spare wood from construction laying around. So Charles got the great idea to build this deck. Basically, we did a triangle formation between these 3 sturdy trees. And so we tacked up the subflooring while we were leveling out the observation deck. The boards that I'm standing on now are loose. They are not what we're going to be using. We just kind of wanted to get a feel for what it would feel like and what it would look like. We're about 4-5 feet off the ground. It's probably the same height from here to our cabin. We also have this funny idea that one day we might have several of these observation decks, aka small little huts and tree houses, all connected with paths that lead back to the cabin, like a resort off the ground. Just an idea. Let us know what you think. We also just brought out this shepherd's hook from our house out here this weekend. We'll hang 1 or 2 lanterns on it, kind of light our way so we don't bust our ass getting to the observation deck.
Then one of the most exciting projects that we did this visit was John, while I was debating on the wiring for the TV, whether or not I wanted to go ahead and wire it into the wall today or not, John put together a little barbecue grill we picked up. We picked this up at Walmart. It was very inexpensive. It was like $19, so it won't matter if a tree falls on it and kills it. We'll put a link in the description for if you're interested, but the grill is only $19. Has a latch on it. A leaf.
John barbecued a leaf.
He barbecued a leaf. But it's a 17-inch grill. We were able to do a full rack of ribs on it, cut in half last night. Absolutely delicious. And then today, we barbecued some brats, and I'll clip in some footage of the grill in action here. So again, like I said, if you're interested in seeing purchasing this for $20, check out our blog, because we'll put a link on our blog listing it for sale. Any purchases made through our blog, we do get a percentage, so it helps fund this project. So it will help support this channel, help us get better video equipment, help us get things for the cabin. And what we really need is a camera that has a microphone, because right now we're limited to either filming on our iPhone, our GoPro, or our Nikon Coolpix. And we have the Nikon Coolpix that doesn't have a microphone input. So I'd like to get a new microphone so I can bring you better videos. And that was about it for this trip. We wanted to get some fishing done, but there's been a lot of rain and the river was out of control today. Like, fishing was impossible. The current was easily moving 30-40 miles an hour. It was just, for me to not fish, the conditions,
there's something wrong.
Yeah, the conditions were not good, because I would rather fish than do just about anything, except for maybe things that would make this channel go PG-13. So if you know what I mean. Which leads me to upcoming blog. One thing that I look forward to is check out our blog and read what John wrote about something that is usually not talked about in the tiny house community. You hear a lot of videos and see a lot of blogs about all the different problems and what it's like once you're in 115 square feet. the good things, the bad things. But the one thing that nobody has really talked about is tiny house sex and the reality of the situation when you're in a loft that only has a 3.5-foot clearance. So stay tuned because that video will be coming shortly.
Alright guys, so that about wraps it up for this episode of our tiny cabin project. Me, Charles, and Princess Frostbite want to thank you guys very much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Take a look at all our other videos and visit our website at ourtinycabinproject.com because every little detail that you don't see on this video and on this channel, you see on our blog. Thanks again, guys.